Hello all. Here in Studio 7 on a nice foggy morning. We're about to go into another heat wave. This one's supposed to start out in the 70s today and then the 80s and so on and so forth. So it's gotten very mosquito-y here in Studio 7. I'm clear on the other side and I'm still getting... So if you see a mosquito, just let me know. I'll whack it. But I'm looking at the view screen to see if any show up, but I can keep feeling as if they're landing on me. I'm not paranoid, you know. This one's going to be kind of interesting. It's what my own thoughts and research have showed. So that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today, is what I have found out about liberal versus right wing. So the way I see it, let's go over to the board, and as you see here, a graph. It's a meter, and it kind of shows where the left is and where the middle is and where the right is. My own personal opinion is that the sheeple and most of the people out there kind of think slightly from the middle to the left, somewhere in that range, and they do cover a large bit of the middle, as you can see here. Now Mushy lives here in the middle. You know, he's one of those, the flock, and he couldn't care less about any of this. He's just got his phone and just endlessly tweeting and Instagramming, and that's probably all old hat now. It's probably moved on to something way past that. I don't really follow it too much. And they just don't care about any of this stuff. They don't even care about who they vote for. They just, whatever their friends are voting for, that's the way they vote. They don't have a clue about anything other than what's on their phone. But there's that part, to me, that's on the more left side and the more right side. And these are the people that really make up who votes and who, for what, and where we get our politician from are from these two areas. Most of the sheeple, as I said, are sort of on the left anyway. And so what is the left? Our friend keeps talking about, the left this, the left that, and he keeps putting the wrong names into the left. He thinks the Democrats are the left. That's just absolutely wrong. Hillary is no more to the left than Jeb Bush or Dick Cheney or even Donald Trump. They're all to the right, far right. Not all the way to the right, but quite a ways. Torture, all that kind of shit. So the left, what is the left? The left, universal health care. Okay, they like some social programs. They make sense. No longer making money on health care. That's a definite left. Stop the profits on health care. You can lower the cost a lot that way. There's no need to make profit on health care. Just makes no sense at all. You can each pay through taxes a small amount and you'll get universal health care. That doesn't mean that you get to go fight 7 or 8 or 10 wars and constantly worry about what's happening in one part of the world versus the other using the war machine. The left doesn't believe in any of this war stuff. This is a Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, George Bush, Dick Cheney, this nut in the White House now. Obama is just a warmonger in chief. We've never had anybody go to this many wars and just get in everybody's business. We are now supreme leader. We tell everybody what they're going to do. That's the right. That's the right wing. That's fascism. Study fascism. You will see that the fascists are on the right. All right? The liberals, bleeding heart, remember all that? We want to see universal education, right? From kindergarten for as long as you want. It should be out there. We pay a little bit of money each month or each year for our universal education. We want universal sewage, so we don't have to pay for the upgrades in the streets. There's no need to make money on sewage. That can be done with a social program, like it is now. Roadways, transportation, another thing not to have to pay for, to get the money down. But stop subsidizing fossil fuels. That's very left. The right want fossil fuels. I don't know why, but they really love the global warming thing, and I better not have another mosquito on me. The left also wants to have a science and education-based society, one that uses intelligence instead of emotions. The right is all about emotion, all about sensationalism and extremism of bombs and killing. And so the left really loves to be like here in San Francisco, it's a very international city, and we all get along pretty good. We're not they're better or we're better or any of that. We're all the same, and we get along together. That's very left. The right has to divide us up, one group after another. Those Muslims, those blacks, those Mexicans, and they have to and they have to really, get crazy with their. I have to turn you a little bit here to get you out of the sun. The right tries to divide you, and you can tell by our friend, because he constantly talks about this group versus that group, so on and so forth, and I'm so against that. I don't know why people get that, but I wanted to talk to you about what our friend is. And I hope that leaf isn't making noise on my microphone. Well, all right. There. So a lot of these sensationalist talk show people are that way because they're affiliates. They use the affiliate marketing technique to make a living, which is fine. And a lot of affiliates do use shock to keep you on the channel all the time. There's a disaster waiting just around the corner, and you have to keep your eye on that show, and you will support that show by buying these goos, oozes, and gels, and the miracle this and the miracle that, and I feel so good. Oh Lord, I swear, just eat vegetarian, you'll feel a lot better than any of these ooze, goos, and gels that this guy charges so much for. And as most people find out after a while, you figure it out, they don't do a damn thing. And if you had it analyzed, it'd probably be sugar water or slightly filled with alcohol or something like that. But it's these type chemicals and gels and oozes aren't under any kind of regulation. The very regulation they can't stand. Well, they're suffering for it because nobody can complain, because there's nothing that says it has to be what's in the package. So anyway, the right wing, most of them are doing it because of money. The reason the left are blogging is because they want to get the people together and stop this division, because all this division does is end up in war. As you can see now, we're just in endless fighting everywhere. You can't even name all the wars that we're involved with in all the countries. But I'm talking about the US, the UK, and its allies. I mean, we're all just a bunch of just out to the right are into war. So that tells you who's in the White House. Obviously the right, masquerading as the left. They're not left. Stop saying they're left and stop dividing yourselves. The reason I don't divide myself is because if you let's say you only think left or only think right, you're missing the whole other spectrum of life, of thinking, of education. In other words, you can broaden your thinking by just going to the other side and to the middle and taking all the information you can get and using it to better yourself and the planet. You don't divide yourself. Oh, those Muslims and those hoods and those blacks and those bums that are in the tents in the street, and it's just so ridiculous to divide ourselves like that. Aren't we see, if we're to move on to a one-type society, we cannot be divided. We have to be united together to do this. It's going to take the entire planet to do it, to change into a one-type society. And if we do not change into a one society, we die. There's no way we can keep doing to the planet what we're doing and survive. So I appreciate all the comments and the ups and the downs and the new subscribers. And until next time.